Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I'm here at the park and there happened to be a pop-up ecstatic dance party only in Sedona. But today I wanted to talk about prayer as a technology and specifically the alchemical concept of transmutation related to this metaphor of turning water into the wine. Now, this is referencing something I was studying in a book by Joseph Murphy that basically talks about how the story of Jesus turning water into wine, how before he turns the water into wine, his mother comes to him and says, "But you don't have any, you don't have any wine for this party." And he said, "But mine hour has not yet come." And basically what this metaphor, this story, this parable is talking about is not looking at what already is, right? So the water is your current state of consciousness. It's water that fits into any vessel, right? So when the water gets transformed into the wine is your fulfilled desire. The wine is coming into a state of prayer where you're becoming one with what it is that you now want to shift your consciousness into that state where it already exists, where it's already done, it's already happened. And so this book is called, How to Attract Money by Joseph Murphy, and it's focused more on the wealth consciousness and the deeper spiritual layers of basically how everything is a state of consciousness. So poverty, in order to create poverty in your life, you have poverty consciousness. So that would be the water. And so in order to have wealth and abundance in your life, you'd want to turn the water of that poverty consciousness, you want to transmute that into a consciousness of abundance and wealth. And again, that's not just money, right? Abundance in every area of our lives, because wealthy is to be well and healthy. It's in our relationships with ourselves, with each other, and with the earth. And also recognizing that when you're operating from that state of consciousness, then you're putting more emphasis on giving, right? You're putting less emphasis on trying to get, because again, if you're always trying to get, you're coming from a state of consciousness that is saying that I don't already have it, right? Again, that's the water. Your hour has not yet come. Do not give in to the evidence of the material world, right? Because that's what's already manifested. It's old news, it's already done. But here's the thing, everything is already created. It's not your job to try to make everything happen. You have the cooperation of universal forces. When we say it's already done, it's already created, we're saying it already exists in the quantum field. It's already been created. When you tap into the vision, when you tune yourself as an instrument to that state of consciousness, and whatever you call it, it doesn't matter what you call it, but this miraculous, this internal natural ability that we have, or you can call it like prayer, right? No matter what you call it, it works. And as you synchronize into that state of consciousness, it's like, okay, your hour has not yet come. So you're not going to give in to the false evidence. You're not going to give in to your senses. You're not going to give in to other people telling you that you can't do this, or your internal voices of doubt. You're going to turn your state of consciousness and you're going to turn the water into the wine, right? Now, this metaphor is just like the alchemical metaphor of turning the lead into the gold. You're taking the base material state and you're transmuting it into the equivalent of your desire. Now, this is also something that is talked about by Napoleon Hill, specifically when he's interviewing Andrew Carnegie in the formation of his books. They would talk about that everything has the seed of its equivalent benefit. So when you're going through these circumstances in life and you're going through these difficulties or whatever, it's like coming up in this upbringing in this matrix and experiencing these disharmonies, there's a seed of an equivalent benefit. There's a vision, there's a seed within you that is born from that. Now the fulfillment, the blossom of that seed within you will naturally take its course. So when you say that it's inevitable, that's what you're saying when it's already complete. Your hour has not come, right? you're going to have faith. You're going to tend to knowing that as you tend to shifting your state of consciousness, that it's already inevitable. You're trusting and having faith in the universe because there's also unseen forces at play, right? And that's, again, this place of intention, right? Intention is a clarity on what is known. When you sift and sort through the experience, right, you get clarity on what it is that you want and what it is you don't want. Now, that's intention. It's based on what's known. And the more that you practice an intention, the more that it grows. And you get more of what that is. Now, intuition operates more in the unknown. It operates when you rely more on intuition, you're relying more on trust and faith in the unseen. You're more in a receptive state. You're more in a listening state. You're more open to new possibilities. Now, this is like a balance of energies, right? Because as you have intention and you're able to listen and trust and have faith and tune in and receive those intuitions, now also signs and synchronicities are going to come in your external reality. Paying attention to, even when you open a book to a random page or you see a certain sign at a certain time, when you're in that state of flow, things are going to start to happen. Things that seem out of the ordinary, being invited to certain things just appearing on your path, like coming to the park and there just happens to be an ecstatic dance happening, right? Like all of these things, and then getting the inspiration. Certain things are going to start to happen, and it's like understanding that when you're turning that water into the wine, when you're coming into oneness with this new state of consciousness, this new version of yourself that is a match to that parallel reality that you shift into, it's like you're moving through these waves, and then there's kind of like a seam between, and you're able to just kind of surf that, and you're able to shift into the state of consciousness, into the version of yourself, and the synchronicities and the support of the universe and other people, opportunities and divine inspirations from the source. Because where do all the ideas come from? Asking yourself, when you're having a thought, where's this thought coming from? Is this thought coming from source of inspiration, or is this thought coming from somewhere else? Am I under the influence of something that is going to lead me to my highest timeline, or am I under the influence of something else? The self-defeating pattern, a self-sabotaging pattern, a habituation that is draining life force. Because as we're able to cultivate that internal life force, and as we're able to focus towards more of where we want our energy to flow, then we're able to start basically identifying with that state. That's what the wine means. Turning the water into wine is a metaphor for manifestation. It's a story of manifestation. It's turning something into something else. It's taking the water and turning it into the wine. So asking yourself in your life, what is it that you are turning that water into the wine? Where is it that, what state of, what would it feel like for you to be that version of you? And a powerful technique for that as well is in visualization, looking out through your own eyes, inside of that scene, feeling yourself embodying that version of yourself. Because as you start to embody that, it brings it more into the body, it brings it more into the moment. So then you start actually like you're leaning into, living into that version of yourself. And then as you do that, that's when all of that support starts to come in. That's when those signs make themselves known. That's when those books come to you. That's when those opportunities, those programs, those getting an inspiration to search something online, or seeing a certain post that had the information of the person you're supposed to, event that you're supposed to go to, it all happens. And especially as we tune ourselves into the source of all inspiration, as we say, actually, I'm not going to be defined by my conditions. I'm not going to let my limiting thinking, I'm going to question my beliefs. I'm going to question my paradigms. I'm going to question what state of consciousness am I in? Because as the more that I do that, the more mindful I become of that, just through that self-inquiry. Then being able to ask yourself a simple question of, what would it feel like to be in the state of consciousness that actualizes it, right? And that's the focusing on the wine. That's the assuming the wish fulfilled. That is the prayer as a technology, right? That is the property of intention. It's the sense of alignment, and doing it multiple times a day as well. Because even just tuning in for a few moments, or sitting and for more intentionally for minutes, or going into these deeper meditations, are going to help you to connect with that version of yourself and be able to transmute the seed of that equivalent value in your life, that dream, that desire. Be able to start tending to that, be able to start watering that with that faith, so that you can also be in this more relaxed place where you're receiving it, because you know that it's already done. And that when things look dim, remember, your hour has not yet come. Focus on the end state. Trust and have faith and surrender to the universe. And I also have a meditation on the channel that will include here towards the end, that you can check out for shifting into that version of you that is living in that new dream reality. Now, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am so excited and enthusiastic about our growing of this channel and connecting us all together in this shifting consciousness. And make sure to hit the like and leave a comment about any reflections or appreciations you have on this video. And if you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell. Will you be notified of the daily videos. Many blessings, and we'll see you on the next one.